with the opportunity for a Hollywood finish will take the 250.
Phoenix, there they go, down to the bottom, 4 or 5 wide. Let's see if they can all keep it together. But Jacob Barker just...
Remember last year when they ran the Weenie 500, they streamed it on YouTube, on their YouTube channel? They're bringing it to TV this year.
Hello everybody and welcome to week 10 of the Wednesday Night Dash series. Tonight we're coming to you from Kansas Speedway for the Showtime Esports Manager Championship race. We'll take a look at our standings here in 1 second. But tonight I believe is one of the closest battles we have in between the most amount of drivers for the championship coming into the last race of the season. As I said, tonight we're here from Kansas. This is the first trip to Kansas in the truck series, the 6th overall in the Wednesday Night Dash series. Dawson Buchanan leads in wins and laps led in the races that we have gone to here. Let's take a look at your driver standings before we head into qualifying here. Dawson Buchanan, as we just said, historically pretty good here from Kansas. He leads by 6 points over Tyler Cheney, who's in second. And then Colton Garner in third with 268 points. He's 7 points out of the championship lead from Dawson Buchanan. And looking at our Wednesday Night Dash rules, we do have a bonus point for pole position, lap led, most laps led, and for the fastest lap of the race. So we will be keeping an eye on those throughout the race here. Kansas Motor Speedway opened back in 2001, 1.5 miles in length. Tonight we got 80 laps coming up right here after our 2 lap qualifying, which is about to begin. Qualifying position, very important tonight, is remember 1 bonus point for pole position, and also the difference between first and second in points given out is 5. So first receives 40 points, second place 35 points. So that means for somebody like Tyler Cheney to tie Dawson Buchanan, he would need the pole bonus point, a lap led bonus point, and then that would mean that Dawson could get one of the other bonus points, but then Tyler Cheney would have to win the race. So definitely going to be interesting to look for here throughout the 80 laps tonight from Kansas. As we're just getting into qualifying, there is your championship points leader, Dawson Buchanan, going to be looking to extend his lead by an extra point here in about 4 minutes time. As he heads out for his first lap, so does Colton Gardner, as you can see right there, and Tyler Cheney. Sam Cole in the 44, he puts down the first lap of qualifying. Here is Dawson Buchanan. Gonna look to get some momentum there out of turn 4, and he's gonna start his first, well, technically his second time lap, but his first push lap here. As he goes onto the back straightaway for the final time here in qualifying and into 3 and 4. So Dawson Buchanan out of 4 across the start finish. And that will put him P2. So Dawson Buchanan goes second. Tyler Cheney, currently P17, he's now on his push lap. As he exits 4, where's this going to put him? Tyler Cheney goes to 4th. Colton Gardner goes to the top. So if Colton Gardner can hold on to that top spot, he'll find himself tied with Tyler Cheney. 6 points out from Dawson Buchanan for the championship lead. So a minute and a half to go here in qualifying. Pretty much all of our cars have set a lap so far. Colton Gardner on the provisional pole position for now. As we look at the driver's standings here, Team Extreme pretty much all but wraps up the team championship here tonight. JM Motorsports currently in second. And then Appalachian Mountain Autosport is in third. They're only 5 points behind JM for that second spot. But other than that, pretty much everybody going to stay where they're at. So qualifying coming to an end here. And officially that will tie Colton Gardner with Tyler Cheney at 269 points. 6 behind Dawson Buchanan. So if we were to finish like this at the end of the race with either Colton Garner or Tyler Cheney with the race win and Dawson Buchanan third, they would be tied, and then the tiebreaker would go to the most wins, I believe. Actually, just now seeing there is no tiebreaker, so if it's tied, it's a shared championship win then. So pace car is off, and Colton Garner will lead us to the green flag for the final time this year. Really good start there on the outside by Tyler Rouse. Garner gonna fall back to 4th already. Dawson Buchanan falling back to 7th. Not a great start at all there by that inside line. Not really sure what happened, but you see the number 1 there of Tyler Cheney with an early lead. Colton Garner back up to 3rd. Buchanan right behind him in 4th. As Hunter Hughes gonna go to the race lead here momentarily as they're side by side. Colton Garner goes back to the inside of Tyler Cheney as well, and he'll go back to 2nd. Buchanan still in 4th there, now going back to the inside of Tyler Cheney. And he'll go to that 3rd spot. Colton Garner looking to the high side there on Hunter Hughes. But he's going to cut back down. That's going to open the door for Dawson Buchanan. Is Buchanan going to try to make a move to the inside there of Garner, and he's going to get it done. Buchanan up to 2nd. Eyes set on the race lead. Cheney is falling back to 6th now. After that very good start. Tyler Rouse now working his way up inside of the top 3. He's going to try to make a pass on the championship leader of Dawson Buchanan. But Buchanan's going to keep that spot. Gardner started on the pole, fell back a couple of spots. Now he's trying to put himself back inside the top 3 once again, as he will do so there with a pass to the inside of Rouse. It's Garner back to the inside. So side by side now for second is Colton Garner and Dawson Buchanan. Or sorry, Colton Garner and Hunter Hughes. Dawson Buchanan is in the lead. So that gives him that lap lead bonus point, which you would think Colton Garner at some point tonight will also lead a lap. As he's back into that second position. Gets a little loose there, however, off of 2, that's going to open the door for Rouse to go back to the inside. And then side by side behind them as well, between Barker and Hughes, Tyler Cheney, if you remember, went to the lead right on the first restart. He is back to 8th. They're 3 wide here, a couple of rows back. That's Hunter Hughes, Chad Winstead, and the 14 of Robert Lewis. A little bit of contact there between the 60 car and the number 1. So as they jockey for position there in the mid pack, if we make our way back up towards the front of the field, it's Dawson Buchanan still with the race lead. We're on that 15 here. He's led about probably 12 laps or so. Colton Gardner, about a car length and a half, maybe 2 car lengths behind him. Started on pole position, has not found himself back up front since. So now he's under pressure from Tyler Rouse. As Rouse looks to make a move around the outside, and he does, and he's going to clear Colton Garner for second. Today's race is sponsored by Showtime Esports Manager. Take your esports to league and tournament management beyond spreadsheets and Word documents with an easy-to-use online platform. The automated standings overlays featured in today's broadcast are powered directly by Showtime Esports Manager's league management tools. Get started for free today at showtimeesports.com. Colton Gardner has now dropped back to 6th. There, Dawson Buchanan's widened his lead by over half a second. And Tyler Cheney back in 8th. Now, the past 2 or 3 races, though, we have seen like Dawson Buchanan and Colton Gardner find themselves in a position to win the race with about 10 laps to go, and a caution comes out, and then they get spun out and wrecked off of the restart. So this is far from over. There is Colton Gardner getting a little loose off the exit of turn 2. As he looks to gain a position back again off of Jacob Barker. So Buchanan's 6/10 of a second lead now down to about a car length over Chad Winstead in the number 60, as he's closed on Buchanan very quickly. Not quite able to get close enough to put any pressure on, though. Not yet, at least, as Gardner's sort of pulled away. Just by a little bit, though, over Chad Winstead. We'll go back to that and have another look in a second. Hunter Hughes, second behind. He's running in third. Winstead sort of just hanging on there right behind Buchanan. Colton Gardner slowly working his way back through the field as he's back up to fourth. Started on pole, fell back to around sixth. I think made his way back up to third, and then he fell back again to around sixth. Two seconds behind the race leader Dawson Buchanan, and then Tyler Cheney right behind Colton Gardner as we have one car into the wall. Back a little bit, but everybody gets away fine. Buchanan, his lead has grown back to a second as Winstead was able to catch up, not able to do anything as he heads across the start-finish line there to mark the halfway point of tonight's race. Actually, I guess the next lap will mark the halfway point when he crosses the line. Some battling going on back here. This is for 15th between Connor and Wesley Fuge. That is right when we get off of these top couple of cars. Colton Garner goes back to second. Colton Garner will inherit the race lead here with Dawson Buchanan coming down the pits, along with a couple of other cars there as well. There's Buchanan making his way out. He did just go a lap down, so if the caution were to come out anytime before Colton Gardner makes his way into the pits, that would not be good there for Dawson Buchanan. Colton Gardner, along with the rest of these guys, are going to try to make it as far as they can and then hope for a caution. That way, they would be on the fresher tires for the remainder of the race, or Buchanan pits and they go ahead of him. But Colton Garner still out there running, so is Tyler Cheney behind him, and Tyler Rouse behind them, now in third. There's Jax Malin making his way out of the pit lane. Here comes Dawson Buchanan on those fresher tires, going to try to get his lap back from Colton Garner, so that way a caution would not make it much harder for him. It's Tyler Cheney and Colton Garner going to come down the pit lane here anyways. So that means that Dawson Buchanan goes around to get his lap back. Now here he comes. He's going to take back over the race lead. Whenever he makes his way past the pit lane and past the start-finish line here. As Dawson Buchanan goes back to third at the moment. That's Chad Winstead ahead of him in the lead. Or actually, JP Jones coming out of the pits right now was in the lead. But now between these two right here, Colton Gardner making his way out of the pits. There somehow lost a ton of time to Tyler Cheney. Let's see if we can find out what happened to Colton Gardner. So this is on the pit exit. Not seeing anything. Might have just had a bad pit stop. It's Hunter Hughes here in 18, or sorry, in the 18 car in third. He's gonna go to the inside, try to make his way around Dawson Buchanan as they go side by side. Chad Winstead still with the race lead. We've still remained caution free throughout the entire race so far today. Tyler Cheney there in 6th. He would now be 2nd in the overall standings if things were to end the way they currently are right now. But he's 10, going on 11 seconds behind these top 3 right here of Winstead, Buchanan, and Hughes. Take one last quick look at the driver standings. Chad Winstead, Chad Winstead there, 13 points behind Dawson Buchanan. I believe Buchanan also has the fastest lap, and he's going to have most laps led, so that's really, 15 points right there. So that would mean a win, and then Buchanan finishing well near the bottom of the standings. So still a little bit of hope in it for Winstead. Obviously still would like to win the race, and still 2nd and 3rd up for grabs as well. Colton Gardner actually has made his way back up here to 5th. He's caught a second to that lead pack. He is on fresher tires. Only a couple of laps though. And that is fresher tires than Winstead Buchanan and Hunter Hughes, and maybe Jacob Barker, who's 2 seconds up the road from him currently. So 8.4 seconds is the gap from Colton Gardner to Chad Winstead. It's closed at about 3 seconds now. From before, if you can keep this up, you know, it could be kind of close, but I just don't think he had enough extra laps on those old tires that it would make too much of a difference. Also, Buchanan, most definitely still saving his stuff right now, while Gardner having a push there to catch his way back up. But we are on to 20 laps to go. So this gap from Barker and Gardner is down to about 6 seconds between the two. Chad Winstead still your race leader, Buchanan in second. I wouldn't imagine Buchanan tries too hard for the race win if he's ahead. Obviously he would still love for the race win, but Tyler Cheney also hanging in there with Colton Gardner. He's a couple of tenths behind him. The one thing for Dawson Buchanan, just hoping for a caution to not come out, as again we have not had a caution all race so far. And if you're wondering between Gardner and Cheney, the points, I believe they are tied, with Gardner with the pole point, which would tie him, and then I think Cheney has a lap lead point, and if it were to finish this way, Gardner would get the extra point over Cheney to tie them. As it looks like that, well, never mind, that gap from them to the leader still shortening, but not nearly as much as it was just a couple of laps ago. Buchanan still hanging out about 0.3 of a second behind Chad Winstead, who's got the race lead. Hunter Hughes in third there. He is pretty much hanging about the same distance back as well. Don't forget to join FR Racing's DJ Fluck and Eric Richardson for an all-new episode of FR Racing's Garage Talk. In this week's episode, they recap NASCAR's return to Chicago, Austin Hill's beef with SVG, IndyCar's ongoing silly season, and the massive surge in listenership to the show. Subscribe on YouTube or subscribe to FR Racing's Garage Talk wherever you download your favorite podcasts. And then here is, if I can find the right button, here is the schedule for the next season, starting up in a little less than a month there from Michigan International Speedway on August 12th. And again, a 10-race season. The road course for next year looking like I don't know. But there is your 10-race schedule for next season. Races start at 10:17 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on Stadium Scene TV. Probably going to be about the exact same format as what we currently have right now. With Chad Winstead here with the race lead. Dawson Buchanan about 6.5 tenths of a second behind. As he'll just chill out here for 4 more laps. Or 5 more laps. And end tonight in second and a series champion. Just a couple of laps to go left in the season. Just 3 laps to go here for Dawson Buchanan. Tyler Cheney back there in 5th. Colton Gardner ahead of him. Like I said, if they finish this way, I believe they're going to tie for that 2nd position. Yeah, Buchanan, you can tell, sort of backed it down here. He's about a second behind Chad Winstead, who should go on to win here from Kansas. It's a white flag in the air for Chad Winstead and Dawson Buchanan. A couple more corners to go as Chad Winstead heads into turn 4. So he'll head across the start finish. Chad Winstead is going to win at Kansas. Dawson Buchanan going to take home the championship as he heads across the line. 2nd in tonight's race. It's Tyler Cheney there with a big bump to Colton Gardner. There across the line. So your top 3 for tonight: Chad Winstead, Dawson Buchanan, and Hunter Hughes will still join us here in a second. Chad Winstead gonna burn it down for the race win. All right, so here we are with our top 3 for tonight. Hunter, you got me?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Hunter coming away in third tonight. So finished the season on a podium. How would you describe your race tonight and kind of just the season overall?
The race tonight was pretty solid, and as for the season, this being my first podium of the season explains a lot. This season I didn't practice as much as I should have, so I was kind of behind the eight ball for a while. But yeah, tonight felt really good. The car felt fast. I felt like I could make moves in the draft, and me and Chad made a really good pit call there to pit one lap earlier than Dawson did. Then I got Chad the win, but I still came out third. But yeah, overall a pretty solid race and no yellows. Green to checkered, pretty cool. I was able to keep the race flowing the whole night.
Yeah, for sure. And then one last question for you. How's ending the season like this, or what is ending the season like this do for like your confidence overall and heading into next season starting in about a month from now?
Actually, pretty good. I'm glad I got to end on a pretty high note with third, but the O'Reilly cars, feeling pretty good about it. Been running an O'Reilly league on the side, so getting more comfortable with that car. So should be starting strong for next season.
All right, Hunter, well, congrats on the podium tonight, and thanks for joining us for the interview.
Thank you.
All right, and then Chad Winstead coming away with the win tonight.
Yep.
Sorry, I was getting my this ATVO thing out of my way. Well, first of all, congrats on the win tonight. And then, what was the biggest factor that allowed you to get it done in tonight's race? I know Hunter said about the pit stop, but I don't know if there's anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was the biggest thing that allowed me to leapfrog Dawson there. I was able to run him down in that first run and just couldn't get around him. The arrow was kind of crazy tonight. The arrow tight through the middle of the turn, coming off the turn or whatnot. It seemingly was different every corner sometimes. So yeah, overall, I think just the pit call, we decided to come down right at halfway and ended up working out in our favor and got in front and never looked back. I felt like I had a little bit of a better tire savings on the long run than Dawson did. So I felt confident that if we could leapfrog him on the pits, that it would be the right move, and worked out. Happy to get the win, and congrats to Dawson on the second place and in the championship, because I think pretty sure he locked that one down tonight.
Yeah, and then what's it mean to end the season with a win and a couple good finishes there in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, absolutely. Got a couple of wins to close out the year, so feels good. Definitely hate that I missed that first race of the season and cost our team, a chance at the team championship, and definitely cost myself a shot at the top spot. But overall, felt pretty good about how the last few weeks have went, and I don't know if I'll be back for next season or not, but if I am, be looking forward to the Xfinity car, because I feel like the trucks don't suit me as well as I would like, so I feel good that I was able to get a few wins in it.
All right, well, congrats on the win tonight, and successful season other than missing that first race, and thanks for joining us for the interview.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for jumping in the broadcast booth this year, and looking forward to the future.
All right, and then Dawson Buchanan finishing second tonight, coming away with the championship. So Dawson, congrats on another championship. And then one thing I wanted to ask, no yellows tonight, so a bit less stressful than the past couple of weeks, I can imagine. So what was the strategy tonight, and then how'd you feel about the race overall?
Yeah, I mean, overall, it was a super fun race there for at the start was at least, and then yeah, it kind of got strung out, and I kind of figured it would go one of two ways. It would either be like it was tonight, where it just went green the whole way, or there would be a ton of cautions. But yeah, I like Chad said, he kind of had me beat there on the tire saving, and but yeah, I held him off for that first run there, and then he made that call to come down one lap earlier and got the win. But overall, happy for the driver championship. That's pretty cool to get. I think 6 in a row, maybe something like 5 or 6 in a row. So it's pretty cool.
And then there at the end, kind of like the last 20 or so laps, were you still trying for the race win, or you look at the standings and kind of just settle down there and make sure you finished?
No, I was. Yeah, no, I was trying for the race win there. Those last that last run when Chad leapfrogged me, and then I think it was like 4 or 5 to go. I was like, man, I really wish there was a caution right now. And I was like, you know what? It's probably not the smartest thing to be thinking right now. But no, yeah, I wanted to win that one pretty bad. But I mean, it's always good to, I guess, come home with a championship over a race win.
All right. Well, congrats on the win tonight and the championship tonight and the podium. And overall, really successful season and past like 5 seasons or however many it was.
Thank you.
All right, so there were your top 3 from tonight's race, including your championship winner.
Sorry, Dawson, I couldn't let you have both. Can't be greedy, man.
It's like, dang it, he got me on the pit stop, and I was like, yeah, that's got to be it, because it was so hard to pass.
Yeah, it was tough. Good job again. Congrats on the ship, and we'll see you next time. Always fun racing with you.
Yes, sir.
All right, so then your final championship standings for the season is Dawson Buchanan, the champion, and Colton Gardner, and Tyler Cheney, I believe, ended up tying there for second. So, as always, we appreciate everybody tuning in for the past 10 weeks here for Wednesday Night Dash. Once again, there is the schedule for the next season starting here in about a month's time. So, again, thanks to everybody. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast tonight and throughout the entire season. And we'll see you next time.